I just want you all to know I'm sorry. I'm sorry for giving him those chances. I'm sorry. I see things now. I see them clearly. And I think I saw them way too late.
Hey, Auntie Bev here. The woman you just saw in the video clip is identified as Susan Howard. She has a TikTok video, which is about 2 minutes long, and she explains how she feels she was betrayed by the president, and she wants people to show her grace for her error in judgment. Well, the vocabulary word I have for that is delude. It's a verb, and it means to deceive, to trick, to fool, to manipulate someone's judgment. Using it in a sentence, I would say, Susan Howard says the president was able to delude her into believing he was going to do what was best for the country, and that's why she continued to vote for him. And I'm saying Susan Howard was delusional. That's an adjective, and it means faulty judgment. Delude, delusional. Add those two words to your vocabulary bank and make it your time, your shine. Auntie Bev speaks.
My goddess, white people, leave black people alone about this plantation burning to the ground. Leave them alone. You don't get to tell them how to feel about it. You don't get to tell them how to react about it. Stop making videos about how sad it was that it burned down, and leave black people alone. Leave them alone. They have every right to feel their very valid feelings about this plantation burning down. Stop. You know what? Take this opportunity to learn something. Shut your mouth, open your ears, and listen to the videos and learn something. Practice a little empathy. God, white people are not okay. We are not okay.
The disconnect is amazing. And this is why I make content like this, because it's so important. Because we do live in a racist institution, and we are all raised in racism as white people. This is simply a fact. And the crazy part about it is every one of us knows this. Even the ones who will sit there and fight with me to the death about it and act like it doesn't exist. Y'all know white people are racist. Y'all know about the casual racism, the casual microaggressions that we are raised in, no matter where we live in this United States of America. And this is why I will never stop. I will never stop trying to educate as a white person about racism and how we need to learn. We need to evolve. We need to do better. It's almost as if they feel like admitting to a racist institution or admitting to racism makes them this evil, terrible person. And so they would rather double down than to grow and be a good person. And that's so bad, because all that says to me is that you have a small mind and a cowardly soul. And I wish better for you than that, truly, because everything in your life will get better when you stop being so ignorant.
Racism devastates people from the global majority the most, obviously. Let's be really clear about that. But whiteness carries a cost for white people too. And I wish white people could get that into their heads. It shows up in how isolated we often are. In regions like the Northeast and Wales, over 90% of people are white British, and a third of white Britons say they have no friends from a global majority background. I mean, think about what that means. We are cut off from whole worlds of perspective, from different ways of thinking, problem solving, creativity, ideas, joy, humor, you name it. Instead of gaining resilience through difference, we stay small and we stay shallow and we cling to sameness, and I guess we call that normal. Whiteness looks like power, but it's really a cage. It cuts us off from the richness of life itself. Racism dehumanizes people of color, but it also diminishes white people. And anti-racism isn't charity work, remember. It's how we open the door to fuller humanity, connection, and possibility. I mean, it would be great if we did this out of the goodness of our hearts and for the sake of justice. But if that feels like too much to ask, do it for selfish reasons. Do it because your life will be richer, deeper, funnier, and better if you do.
You care about that, right? You want hardworking Americans. Okay, great. Then why didn't you vote for Kamala Harris, who wanted to do a 25% down payment on a home for people that are struggling to live paycheck for paycheck? Why didn't you vote for Kamala Harris, who does not? Hold on. I'm going to tell you who's going to pay for it. That was my next point. Donald Trump gave the biggest tax breaks to the top 1% in this country and his billionaire friends. Kamala Harris wanted to lower the tax bracket to 27% for income families that are making under $400,000 total income. Donald Trump is going to do the opposite, just like he did in his first administration. So I believe you, sir, David, when you say you think it's terrible that people can't afford a home, that people are losing homes. I'm with you 100% on that. Then why would you vote against your interest and vote for a guy by the name of Donald J. Trump, who does not want to give tax breaks to those that are struggling, who does not want to give a $25,000 down payment to people that are struggling, living paycheck to paycheck? Why do people like you vote against your own interests?
So when you're saying that she was going to tax other people. So
yes, the top 1%. No, that's not how it works. She doesn't want to give. I'm going to explain it. I'm explaining it to you. She doesn't want to give the biggest tax breaks in decades to billionaires and CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. Most Democrats agree with Kamala Harris that they want the rich to pay their fair share. Now, what do I mean by that? I'll tell you why. If you're making $25,000 a year, you shouldn't be paying the same percentage on taxes as somebody like an Elon Musk. But MAGA Republicans and the people, with all due respect, that you voted for, Donald Trump, do not want to change their tax bracket percentage-wise to the billionaires. You see, if billionaires paid a higher percentage on their taxes and those living paycheck to paycheck got a break on their taxes, which is exactly what Kamala Harris wanted to do, then the people that you say you're...
Those are other people paying for my house. They're paying a higher percentage.
It's not...
that money, and then
it's not... It's not... It's a... It's a... Because it's a loan, and over time you would have to pay it back. And you know why they'd be able to pay it back? Because Kamala Harris, wait for it, wanted to lower their taxes. It was in her plan that so many people, maybe people like you, said Kamala Harris, wait for it, wanted to lower their taxes.
So I mentioned how I don't ever want to live around a bunch of white liberals again. And I spent most of my life living in Santa Cruz, California, where there is a lot of white liberals. And I have to tell you, those are some of the most racist people in America. White liberals have tried to silence my voice, have tried to get me fired. White liberals have called me racial slurs multiple times. White liberals think black people are a monolith and are only allowed to act a certain way, vote a certain way. White liberals are working to lower the educational standards for black and brown kids, which is hurting them. White liberals want to have a permanent brown underclass to do all of their hard work, all the jobs they don't want to do. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons why I never want to live in a majority white liberal area again. And don't even get me started on COVID.
The fact that the left would protest the ending of crime tells me that their freaking evil is like endless. It's never ending. And you'll tell you why? I'll tell you why, because I read their stupid book. The plan is to take over the institution, right? And if they can't take over the institution, the next best thing, if not equally the same, is to destroy the institution. Why? Because they're stupid. They think people are going to go, Donald Trump said he was going to lower the price of eggs. Oh my God, the price of eggs isn't lowered. That means that we have to vote for Kamala Harris. And what she's going to do is she's going to have two gay dudes suck each other's cocks in front of their egg aisle, while the egg aisle being non-existent because it's a communist grocery store. That's what they expect. They really think that we're that stupid. Seriously. Because I read their book. And the reason why they think that we're that stupid is because their followers are that stupid. They call their followers useful idiots to their face, and they continue to vote for them because they're stupid, right? But they think we're that stupid. They think we're that stupid. They think, oh, the eggs, it's the same price. We're going to vote for the communists now. What the fuck are you going to do about the eggs, jackass? Nothing. Nothing. Because they're stupid like that. And that's why communism will never work. Because at some point in the chain, yes, they could have smart people that could infiltrate shit. But at some point in the chain, they're going to flop because they're dumb.
Nebraska, it seems that you should always be grateful for what you have. And at this point, y'all wasn't grateful enough because you thought voting against your interests was better for you. Now, Nebraska's about to go broke. They say Nebraska's going to go broke in about 5 months. They'll be filing for bankruptcy. The whole entire freaking state, not just one farm. All of them, whole state. Because Nebraska is a cattle ranch state. You know, they got corn and all that stuff. But all the farmers are going broke and about to lose their farms. You want to know why? I bet you can guess why. But see, this is what voting against your interests gets you. Now, how long did Trump say, if I'm elected, I'm deporting everybody? He's been saying it for 2 years. But yet and still, the Nebraska farmers who own all these cattle farms and corn and all soybean, all this farmland, 95% of their workers are undocumented workers because they can get the good labor for a cheaper price. Being that Trump had already stopped all the free money going to the farmers, the farmers decided, we gonna vote with Trump. We gonna vote with Trump. Now, they ain't got no workers because either the workers have been deported or they not showing up. So all of these farmers are going broke and about to lose their farm. My question is, when you voted for Trump in 2016 and all those farmers lost their farm, did you think it wasn't going to happen again? When he told you over and over and over again that if he's elected, he's going to deport everybody, documented, undocumented. If you look to be Mexican, you got to get out of here. So, Nebraska, you decided we going to rock with our boy. Fuck them farms. We don't need them farms. Because Kamala and Biden saved your asses one time. But Trump told you exactly what he was going to do. And he's done it. Now, all of y'all up there crying and making videos and talking about how stupid are we? You stupid as hell. Because you voted against yourself. You are that racist. You have that much hate for another race of people that you voted against your own well-being, knowing that these people work for you. They come to work every day. But you know who ain't coming to work on your farm? Them other white people that ain't got no job, that's sitting at home, getting that check. They ain't coming out. So now what you gonna do? You can't save yourself because you doomed yourself when you voted for Trump. See, this is what racism and hatred does for you. You hated Mexicans that much that you are about to lose your livelihood, your farm, your life, your home, your house, your land, everything, simply for hate. racism. There's no other way to put it. You did that to yourself. Now live with it, because we out of here.
I might lose my farm because of the government.
Own the libs! Own the libs! There's so much owning of the libs going on right here.
Our EQIP program, which is cost sharing on fences, waters, a well, and some seedings, was funded by the Inflation Reduction Act.
And who signed the Inflation Reduction Act into law? Was it Joe Biden? Sir, that is socialism. And you are benefiting off of it. Did you post this a few months ago in October?
I'll tell you what I love. I love cows. But if we go with Kamala, you won't have any cows anymore because you're not.
A few moments later.
Our farm payment money, if we don't have that money, we will lose this farm. And the only way that I can think to get around it is we sell some cows. I'm done. I need your help to save my farm and many other farms.
Sir, we already tried to help you save your farm. The saving of the farms happened a few months ago on November 5th. Us on the left, or what is it that you call us, libtards? Us libtards showed up on November 5th and voted so that you could keep benefiting off the Inflation Reduction Act that would have saved your farm. You, Kyle, also showed up on November 5th and voted to preserve something that wasn't your farm. What did you vote to preserve, Kyle? You voted to preserve your white tea supremacy instead of saving your farm. Are you feeling superior right now, Kyle? I want you to get exactly what you voted for, Kyle, and I want you to feel the powerful consequences of your vote.
So I was on YouTube and I came across this video claiming that white farmers are outraged that black people do not want to work on their farms. And I thought it was fake because I was like, this has to be like clickbait or whatever. So I searched and I came across Facebook, and y'all, the comments were wild. I still wasn't sure if it was real. So I tried to go to the staffing agency's website, and y'all, apparently so many people went to their website that the website crashed. So I figured, okay, maybe this is actually real. So they're basically offering $11 an hour to pick blueberries, 9 to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, from May to July in Louisiana heat. Now, I never heard of Laranger, so I decided to look it up real quick. So here's some info. And just so you know, my source is this website called places.us.com. So anyway, livability is a C-. Population is less than 6,000. Demographics is almost 91% white, followed by black, then Hispanic, then Indian, then Asian, and pretty much 0 Hawaiian. I saw that they voted Republican in 2020, but it probably doesn't take a genius to guess how they voted in 2024. So that's just to give you a little info about the town. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So $11 an hour is what they're offering. Full-time, 7 days a week, 9 to 10 hours a day. Now, according to salary.com, Louisiana's minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. So this is a bump. But let's be real. Now, for some people, they might say, oh, it's a job. Go work it. It's a job. But it's not a job, you know. It's more like a sentence. And then when you look at who they expect to take these jobs, you don't have to guess. It's a page straight out of history. Black folks, migrant workers, you know, the ones who are currently facing deportation right now. Vulnerable communities getting used for back-breaking labor for pennies. But people are saying this is what they voted for. So what do you think? Is it FAO season or what?
So right now, the convicted felons' attorneys are arguing that birthright citizenship should be overturned. A constitutional right. Let that sink in. I was on a live last night, and we were talking about what's going on and what the solution is. And I said, it doesn't matter if a Republican or a Democrat is in the White House. Until we address the white patriarchy in this country, we will never progress as a society. And what do I turn on the news this morning? The convicted felon is arguing that birthright citizenship should be overturned. Friends, this is about one thing. It is about one thing only. It's not tariffs. It's not making your life better. It's not improving your life. It's not about helping you. It is about making this America white again. Stop being fooled by the okie doke, by the parlor tricks, the snake oil salesmen. This plantation owner wants one thing: white America. You demonize immigrants. They're grabbing people off the streets and leaving their children with nowhere to go. There was a 3-year-old that just had their parents snatched off the street, and a stranger had to bring that child home. Yeah, it's so pro-life. Abrego Garcia had no due process, sent to El Salvador. People being put in Guantanamo Bay. He put a Muslim ban on there. Questioned the birth of Barack Obama. Very fine people on both sides. Has dinner with Nick Fuentes, a white nationalist. Didn't rent to black people. The Central Park Five. And on and on and on. That's what this is. Make America white again. Pull your heads out of the sand, people. Signing petitions, organizing, that's all great. Getting into groups, talking about it, going to daily protests, that's wonderful. I love it. That's not going to stop what's happening. It's not. You need to shut the damn country down. Period. End of story. I don't want to hear what we can't do. I can't afford to. We can't do this. What about this? We need to organize. Great, then organize. Sign the petition. 2025strike.com. That's it. Organize. You get 3.5% of the population and you stop working and you shut this damn country down, because that's the only way this is going to stop. This plantation owner is going to do lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. What's to stop him from suing you, a private citizen? Because that's the end game here when it comes to lawsuits, right? You can't afford it.
Them farmers really thought we was going back to them fields. They really thought we was going back to them fields. You know what? My mother was the first generation on her mother's side not to be brought up on a plantation. Not to be brought up on a plantation. That's what I said. My grandfather had a 3rd grade education, but he left my mama 2 houses, property in the bank, property and money in the bank, with a 3rd grade education. And guess what? He worked in fields. My great grandmother worked in fields and cut that cane just like a man. You hear me? And if you think that Eddie Lewis and Victoria C. Jones and all the rest of my ancestors bust their tail in them fields for us to go back to the fields, absolutely not. That's not progress. We're trying to heal from ancestral trauma. We're trying to heal from that. That ain't happening. That produce could rot in them fields before we go back to them fields. They need to let them know that.
A viral video of a white woman talking about black fatigue and how we don't need to give the black community reparations because we weren't around during slavery and neither were they. There were thousands of comments. This was going viral so quickly. Fully expecting to see people fighting her in the comment section. No, thousands of comments of white people, mostly. There was one Native American that was like, as a Native, thank you for saying this. I was like, what? There were so many white people in the comments saying, we're sick of this. Did they think that we were going to be silent for this long? You guys, those are war cries, if I've ever heard them. Thousands of white people in a comment section saying, did they really think we're going to be silent for this long? That's not good. And then I looked back. I saved the video. Literally, this was like 20 minutes ago. I saved the video and then I was going to reference it in this one, but it either has been taken down or she took it down herself. She deleted it. But I know that you guys have probably seen it because it had 500,000 views by the time that it was taken down. The problem is there were so many people in the comment section bold enough to say things like this. Let me say it to all the red hats out there and speak in your language. No one cares about your feelings. We need to talk about facts. And if you don't like the facts, you can go cry about it. Here are the facts. There's a thing called epigenetics. Whatever happens to your ancestors affects your mentality, your emotions, and your physical body for generations after generations after generations. It makes you ill. It makes you suffer emotional triggers that you wouldn't normally have if your ancestors did not go through those things. That is science. Now let's talk about history. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Does that ring a bell? Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you don't know what happened there and you're a red hat, let me tell you a little history lesson. The Black community was crawling out of the shithole that we left them in. And they created amazing communities where everybody was working together and they had fabulous education and people had money. The United States government bombed their communities, literal bombs dropped. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That wasn't even reparations. They were doing this themselves, cultivating this themselves, trying to bring themselves up. Any community that was systematically used and abused by the rest of society needs reparations. That includes Native, don't even get me started on Native Americans. I have a whole thing that I think they deserve, which some of y'all might even think I'm crazy, but this is about the Black community right now. Yes, they deserve reparations. They get the short end of the stick almost every single time. This is not just a white, blue-haired woman talking about this. These are facts. And again, facts over feelings, right? Facts over feelings. Even though I don't think this way, nobody that I know thinks this way. You guys have made it very clear in the comment section that a lot of you do.
Hi guys, welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. I'm B-Boy. Remember, if it is for the first time you come across my video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe and share. Okay guys, in today's clip is all about how white farmers are outraged and are furious because they haven't seen any black farmers complaining about the current situation, about this new administration. They are coming out in line number and they're saying that they're the one who are only crying out for help, for government to help them, but black farmers, they are silent and furious. One thing maybe we really know, or we just know, that where the reason why black people are silent is because black people, they want these people not to vote for this new administration. Black people voted so that at least these people can still be doing their business. Black people voted to protect these people's farms. Black people voted so that at least these people can go bankrupt, but instead they backstabbed the black people, the black folks, and they voted because they didn't want to elect someone who had a different skin color. And this is the reason why maybe these people voted out of hatred and out of racism. And now they are feeling the pain, and now they are seeing, or now they're just getting what they voted for. White farmers, they really came out in line number and said that we really want these people, but they couldn't have listened. You do remember the last time these farmers voted for President Donald Trump, almost 1,000 farmers really lost their farms. The last time they voted for them, a lot of farmers went bankrupt, but they didn't listen, up to a point whereby the government had to bail them out, even when it was during the period of COVID-19 to 2019 to 2020. They were also bailed out, but right now, due to Trump's tariff, it has really triggers a lot of bankruptcy to these farmers. It has really affected, because China can't maybe buy products from these US farmers, and maybe it's just maybe to make them just learn, because the last time also Trump impacted Trump tariff on other countries. These same farmers feel the pain and they went bankrupt. Right now they're really crying out for help. They are even going and telling government to maybe allow them to maybe or the government to help them, so at least they can bail them out, or at least give them taxpayer money, so that at least they can cover all those costs they've been going through. And one thing we really know is that a lot of people that really came out in line number and said that there's no way a government can bail out these people, and I myself haven't finished my school fees. There's a lot of people who have really come out and said that there's no way government can bail them out, whereas there is other small farmers of different skin that haven't benefited from this project, or haven't benefited from government in any way, because we do remember on when there was COVID-19, a lot of large scale farmers, and a lot of them were white farmers, they really benefited a lot from this. But other farmers that had different colors, especially black farmers, didn't benefit from it because of maybe they didn't have proper papers, or maybe because of the common thing is just racism. And right now they're really crying out for help. They are wanting government to help them to a place where they want socialism, but the people, the black people, they are not agreeing with it, because they came out in large number saying that we really want these people, and these people, this is just what they voted for. This is what they voted for. They voted for deportation of immigrants. Right now, there's not anyone to pick crops in their farms. They voted for immigrants to be deported, and they supported it 100%, not putting in mind that these immigrants are the same people who are really helping them to go and pick their crops in their farm. Right now, crops are rotting in their farms. There's no anyone to pick them. And this is the reason why they are really crying out for help, because of how they are losing their farms and going bankrupt. Black farmers and black people really came out in line number and told them not to vote for the orange man, but they couldn't listen, because they didn't want to put another person of different skin color in their office. And this is what they get, because a lot of people, they have really came out in large number and condemned the man. A lot of them, they have really came out and said that if these people can give another chance, they can still vote for President Donald Trump for the first time, because this is that time they were voting for this new administration, and President Donald Trump is just doing what he promised these people he will do. He's just doing his agenda, because his first agenda was to deport all the illegal immigrants. We have all seen how S agents, they are doing their things to these people, separating them from their families, making their families disappear. And we really hope things will be better in America. We really hope things will be better. Maybe they will be considered, or maybe the life of America to be great again. Once again, it will return. So guys, if it was for the first time you're coming across my video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe and share. Thank you so much for your time, and God bless you whenever you are. One love.